if you passed it on. Love's first inclination is to stop the gossip dead in its tracks and protect that person from any hurt that might come. Now, envy and jealousy would delight in seeing another person hurt. Hatred seeks to hurt others, but love always protects. Love always watches out for that one that you love. The psalmist knew that God loved him with that kind of love, as he wrote in Psalm 57, "Have mercy on me, O God, have mercy on me, for in you my soul takes refuge. I will hide beneath the shadow of your wings until the storm is past." Parents often feel that way about their children. They don't want their children to go through those hard times. Love protects. And by the way, as they get older, children begin to feel that way about their parents. They want to protect them and always want what's best for them. So first thing is love always protects. Secondly, love always trusts. Or as in the King James it says, love believeth all things. Love's first instinct is to believe the best about a person. Love's instinct is always to want the best for another person. It's not like that love is gullible or unrealistic, but love's first choice is always to attribute the best in motives to others' deeds, to expect the best from others, and to seek to uplift others and draw the best out of them. Notice I said that's love's first instinct, to do that. We need to be aware that there is in our society today a cynicism that is toward people and toward life, a suspicious attitude towards everyone and everything. I suspect it comes from too much drug and alcohol abuse, too many tabloid magazines and TV programs of the like that have led us to believe that everyone is only always watching out for number one, and that everybody has an agenda in all they do, and that everyone is out to actually steal all they can from you. Have you noticed that kind of cynical attitude towards people? Someone does something nice for you, your first reaction is, well, I wonder what they want. Now, some people do fall into that category, but not all people. And we have to be careful and be wise, but we also have to watch our spirit and our attitude and the way that we treat other people, or we will become more like our society than like Christ. And we will become cynical and bitter. Jesus confronted in his day the spirit of Phariseeism, which was always going around putting people down and letting others know that somehow they didn't pass the white glove test. They didn't measure up. You don't measure up in my eyes. But the Spirit of Christ within a believer, the love of God within the Christian, teaches us that love's first choice is that I will always believe and expect the best about others until I am forced to another conclusion. And one man even went so far as to say, even when a failing must be pointed out, even when a fault must be remedied, even when a wrongdoing is exposed, let there also be an encouragement to remedy the misdeed, to return to the right, to put on the armor of God and to press on towards the call of godly living. It seems like today that Christians are the only ones, we're the only army in the world that shoots our wounded. When someone goes wrong, we're the first ones to point the fingers and be critical, rather than to say, I'm sorry that one fell. Let me, like God says to us, I'm sorry you fell. Let me help you up. And lean against me, and let's walk closer together. That's what love does. God encourages us. I mean, you look at your own life. How many times have you messed up? Okay, not you, but the other people here. How many times have they messed up? And God continually encourages us. Because love always trusts, always protects, always believes. And that's the way we need to be with one another. I confess to you very candidly that you can catch me on a day when I'm pretty burned out from a whole bunch of that kind of stuff happening, that I struggle with this area. So if you pray for me, you can pray for me that I don't get so burned out, that I start thinking like the world, Third thing, love always hopes. What that means is love is always optimistic about the future. Love is always confidently expecting that the best is yet to come. And by the way, any way you cut it, for a Christian, the best is always yet to come. Love is hopeful when human understanding sees no hope. Love doesn't give up. Love keeps praying. Love keeps asking. When that child goes astray, love doesn't give up. It keeps saying, "Oh God, bring them back." And we need to be reminded of that in America, don't we, when people's expectations have really gotten very low. God never gives up on us. And we must not stop believing in a brighter future. To not do so is to give up, to say God can't remedy this. And I truly believe, folks, that the minute you give up, something in you dies. I can see it all the time when I go, to visit the elderly people in the convalescent homes. There are people there that might be 85, 90 years old. They still have the spark of life in them. They still are excited about what's going on in their life. And you see other people that just say, "I give up." And the minute that they start giving up, they begin to die. So here we're living in a day when we're not hearing so much good news on the television. The best decision I ever made is I won't watch very much news broadcast on TV. There was a day when something happened in New York, it took a week to get out here to California. Of course, by the time it got here, it was 10 times worse than it was, but at least it took a while to get here. Nowadays, you and I live in a day of glut news. I mean, you not only hear it like CNN, and I'm not being critical of them, that's their job, okay? But CNN and Fox and all of these, they have to fill 24 hours a day of news. And so you watch the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. You listen to the same neg-talk, And it's very easy to become so discouraged about life. I'm long enough in the tooth now that I can say we've gone through this kind of stuff several times in my lifetime. Gas prices going up, house prices going down, and some chicken little running around saying the sky's falling. It's always going to get better. There's always going to be a remedy for this. But let me give you a word of wisdom here. Don't ever expect your economy, or, by the way, your spouse, or your job, or any other person in your life to bring to you the joy and fulfillment that you need for daily living. Some of these things that I notice in people is how that I've met Mr. Wonderful, and all of a sudden there's a spark in a girl's